Hormones, yes, we're talking hormones again, but this one, progesterone, is one of those ones that is kind of neglected, okay? But it makes you feel better. So let's break with tradition, normally talking about things like cortisol. Cortisone is something getting injected into your body, and progesterone, well, it sounds like something that might be an injection to treat with the coof or something like that, but hey, this one right here is one of those good feel-good hormones, and many people don't have enough of it. Well, how do you get more of it? Let's find out. It goes without saying that stress has become one of the most prevalent health concerns we're facing during these trying times. I don't know what you mean. Unfortunately, stress has a major far-reaching tentacles. Oh my lord, tentacles. Stay away from the Japanese schoolgirls, impacting almost every disease and autoimmune issue known to man. It can manifest in such things as weight loss resistance, migraine headaches, even acne. Interesting. And it can be involved with more life-threatening issues such as cardiomyopathy, Parkinson's, stroke, and dementia. Stress affects every aspect of our health and well-being, so it's imperative to keep our stress levels in check as much as possible, making sleep a number one priority. Spending time in nature, meditating, and unplugging on a daily basis are wonderful ways to handle stress. Yes, set that time aside if you do in fact need it. But there is another way that many of us overlook, a hormonal stress buster that you probably haven't considered. Progesterone is one of the feel-good hormones, and if you, like millions of others around the world, are dealing with unrelenting stress, you are likely in need of a boost of it. All right, how progesterone beats stress produced in the adrenal glands. So right up there in the old headaroo, progesterone functions as both a buffer and a treatment to various ailments, including stress. Because progesterone plays a significant role in so many functions critical to good quality life, normal fluctuations in this hormone can have potentially deleterious effects, that's a word, including a stressful feeling of depression, anxiety, and sleeplessness. Quite simply stated, stress causes estrogen dominance, and the lack of calming effects of progesterone that counter excess estrogen's negative and often irritable, excitable effects. And no wonder it plays such an important role in our brain health. Progesterone is up to 20 times more concentrated in the brain than in the bloodstream. Well, if it's produced in the adrenal gland, that would make sense. Progesterone is widely recognized today thanks to the pioneering research of Dr. Raymond Peat and John Lee. Very basic names. They found that progesterone deficiency is epidemic among men and women 18 to 80. Many people simply aren't producing enough progesterone because of a lack of nutrient precursors, zinc and vitamin B6. I don't think we've broken down B6 on the channel, and quite unfamiliar with that, but zinc I know we have, and wasn't even that long ago. Progesterone's key role is to help negate the effects of excess estrogen. We've already been over that. But when levels are low and estrogen dominance happens, largely due to long-term stress, symptoms such as anxiety, insomnia, fatigue, and irritability begin to appear. These can cascade into so many areas of our lives and destroy our health and well-being. It isn't common to consider hormones first when you think of ways to approach debilitating stress and anxiety in today's world. But once you start to consider that to play a role, or at least a major role in some instances, it's hard to not think of that. But I understand that this is probably written for the lay person. There are many other considerations, such as thyroid and adrenal health, that control the body's intricate emotional balance. But through the many years this dude has been working with hormone testing, I found that most people are lacking the proper amount of progesterone needed to combat excess estrogen and help control stress. Therefore, I recommend two very important things to consider to navigate to a better mental health and improve your quality of life. So test your hormone levels, obviously, recommending a salivary hormone panel. Get the old swabberoo and the old moutharoo, which evaluates your body's levels of bioavailable progesterone, estradiol, testosterone, DHEA, and cortisol. Unlike blood tests, which don't measure bioavailable hormone activity, saliva testing is considered to be the most accurate measure of free bioavailable hormonal activity. This convenient at-home salivary hormone testing kit uses a salivary sample to provide an individualized hormone assessment, if yours truly, to help identify and alleviate the underlying causes of the imbalance related to issues including stress, anxiety, depression, and sleeplessness. Keep in mind that there is a rule of thumb if not recommending hormone products without testing. Of course not. That's one of those things where it's like, I think I'm a little bit low, and say I'm just going to look over maybe vitamin K2, okay, which is, okay, obviously highly likely for the vast swath of the population. Just trying to figure out if you're deficient in that area by supplementing with different vitamins and minerals. There's a very, very low risk, okay, if you're doing certain vitamin supplementation on a sheer whim, okay, or you think that you might meet some of the criteria of deficiency. But when it comes to experimenting with hormones, and I think you can just immediately, something will probably pop to the front of your mind. And if you want more on those types of topics, I got a main channel for much more spicy content. But then again, yeah, messing around with just hormones is not good. Not good. So yeah, and of course this looks like it's probably doctor prescribed. So again, this is something that a doctor should be looking at, okay? But yeah, okay, so the doctor says I'm not recommending hormone products without testing, but since it's safe to use, and since 9 out of 10 times I find deficient levels of progesterone on everyone I've tested. Again, testing though, it's all hinged on the test. I recommend the topical use of Progesterone. All right, was this guy sponsored? This lady, my mistake. She's a doctor. A transdermal cream that contains USP. What does it get delivered? Progesterone delivered from a wild yam. Interesting. Why not just eat some wild yam? Products like this can aid in optimizing your progesterone levels and correcting estrogen imbalance. Progesterone can help control stress, anxiety, depression, and sleeplessness throughout many stages of life for both men and women. If you find yourself having a deficiency of this hormone, you can take steps to address it. But again, also just working on yourself to figure out where you're lacking. If you're not eating a balanced diet, if you're not getting enough sleep at night, it's probably a little bit easier to just get a little bit more sleep than to start experimenting with different topical creams. But hey, then again, what do I know? I'm just a tall man on a YouTube channel reading a couple of studies for you. But of course, yeah, always get your hormone levels analyzed by the certified clinician. Okay, you just go see your doctor, and they can run some tests for you, and maybe they can prescribe something for you. Or, you can just take the responsibility on yourself and then just try to fix any deficiencies that you think you have in your own body. Because at the end of the day, you know yourself better than anybody else does. But with that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.